Hello everybody and welcome back to Mom's Vlog 80. Woo woo. Today, if you are new to our channel, thank you so much first of all for subscribing. Let me explain really quick what my youngest son was diagnosed with, and then we're going to move on to the recent treatment that everybody's been wondering about. A lot of you have been able to see the videos on Facebook or through Twitter and Instagram and whatnot about the small clips that I've shown about what this new treatment consists of. What's happening is my son Elijah back in 2010 was diagnosed with stage 4 neuroblastoma cancer, and it's a bone and nerve cancer. Hits the bone marrow, so he had 80% coverage in his bone marrow of solid and soft tissue. Tumors throughout his whole body he had from head to toe. And then he had some manifest in his neck, and that's how we found out. We did biopsies and found out later that he had cancer. In the last 5.5 years, we have done every treatment possible, whether it was chemo, radiation, natural ways of healing, to all sorts of trials and therapies and juices, and you can name it. We've heard about it, we've seen it, we know some of them don't work. And because if it's a solid type of tumor where it grows in the bones, it is almost untreatable. It is absolutely hard to treat. No slow type of regimen will work on a neuroblastoma patient at this stage. Now, stage 1, 2, maybe, but not at stage 4. And it's such an aggressive cancer that even chemotherapy, after a little while, his body becomes resistant to it and the chemotherapy no longer works. So like the first 3 months, he had a certain kind of chemotherapy. Then the next 3 months, they changed it to a different kind of chemotherapy, and so on and so forth. So we have spent the last 5 to almost 6 years this upcoming November fighting for this disease. He's been in remission 4 times. We don't call it remission, we call it no evidence of disease. That means the scanners and the tests cannot detect any of the cancer, even though there may be a chance that the cancer may still be in his body. They're just hidden cells hiding away that the the scanners cannot detect. So we say no evidence of disease. We won't really necessarily say he's in remission until he is 5 years of no evidence of disease. So right now we are working on getting him at no evidence of disease and trying to keep him there. Our recent relapse just recently has been very devastating. The doctors really don't have much left that they can offer us at their original hospital we've been fighting his cancer for. It was put into my hands. Our original pediatric doctor for cancer had retired and moved just recently within the last 6 months, and left us with a doctor who knows a little bit about neuroblastoma, but it left us a peculiar situation to where we had to make the choices, and they offered it and laid it on the table, and we could have taken the choices on what to do. It was left up to me to call around different hospitals, talk to other neuroblastoma parents that I'm a part of, a Facebook group, and all sorts of other things. I heard about this new treatment called the T-cell therapy trial, and what it is, I heard about it actually bringing leukemia patients into remission. I heard that they were studying on neuroblastoma patients, and some neuroblastoma patients that I know of have done this trial. The first generation, the second generation, and earlier stages in this trial have kind of failed this trial. So what we did, we decided to go on the third generation, which is very, very brand new. It is a higher dosage of the T-cells. So what they do is they did a couple weeks ago is apheresis over a month ago. Took the blood from Elijah and it went into this machine and came back into his body. So as it goes into this machine, the machine collects the cells. And what they collected was T-cells. And it came about this much of the bag out of like a big bag about this big. And there was a lot of T-cells in there. So they froze the bag, we went back home. Oh, we traveled to Seattle, Washington. We're from California, by the way. So we traveled to Seattle, Washington to do this, and we went back home. What we did is wait around until they grew the T-cells. What they are doing right now is genetically modifying the T-cells. They're making the T-cells. Okay, so here's the cancer cell. This hand is the cancer cell, okay? What happens is there's not enough T-cells strong enough to get onto the cancer cell and grasp on. What happens is the cancer cell forms a barrier around itself, and so the T cells can't grasp on and start killing it. The T cells are a definite receptor to killing cancer cells. So here's a cancer cell and here's a T cell, and it cannot grab on because there's a barrier there. So it kind of swims away and tries to find something else easier to attack. And there's not enough. So what they did is they took Elijah's T cells, genetically modified them to be number one, stronger, but number two, come onto the cancer cell and grab on. It's called CARs. So they took the CARs, the T CAR cells, or the CAR T cells, grabs onto the cancer cell and hangs on and starts feeding into it and starts eating at the cancer cell and destroying it. So that is the main purpose of this T cell trial. What they're doing is they see it happening really good in leukemia patients. In leukemia patients, within 3 weeks, on average, a leukemia patient goes into remission from this trial. So they decided to span the horizons, try to test it out on other cancer patients. So right now they're doing neuroblastoma, and neuroblastoma is extremely hard to treat. So they haven't seen really good outcomes of it. So this really isn't much of a hopeful kind of treatment for us, but it's something. It is something that we are trying. And I told my husband that I would do anything and I would go anywhere to find the right treatment for Elijah that would work. So as far as our original hospital, they're not offering anything else. So here's what the ordeal is. This week we get scans at this hospital here in Seattle. They're gonna determine how they want to give him the T cells. Not necessarily how, but like maybe how much. He's the first child considered as the third generation to get the most dosage the first round. This Saturday and Sunday, we are going to be getting chemotherapy called fludarabine. And fludarabine specifically is a type of chemo. It is completely different off of protocol regimen. So on the regular protocol regimen, you have a certain amount of types of chemos that you use. Well, this one specifically for this trial, and it does hit the white and red blood cells. It does kill off the body, but not as bad as cyclophosphamide. And cyclophosphamide is the original chemotherapy that Elijah took when very first diagnosed. So Saturday and Sunday, he'll be getting fludarabine for 2 days, and then 2 more days he's getting cyclophosphamide. We expect his counts to drop. And when I say his counts, his white blood cells and his red blood cells. That means he becomes neutropenic. That means he has to be isolated. He cannot be around people with colds, flus, germs, anything. We have to keep him indoors, and we try to keep him away so he doesn't get severely sick. Which, however, he does end up always on cyclophosphamide, end up getting fevers, high fevers, which brings us to the emergency room, and we end up always getting admitted on this type of chemo. This chemotherapy always makes us end up being admitted. So I expect us to be admitted during this trial. What's gonna happen after the 4 days of chemo, once his counts are down at 0, we're gonna check his labs, and if they're down at a 0, on Thursday, next Thursday, he will get injected with his brand new genetically modified T cells. They will do 2 types of T cells. One's called a CD8 T cell first, and the other one's a CD4. I completely forgot what they all mean. But there's 2 types of TD cells that they genetically modified. It all works together in conjunction to attack the cancer cells, as I explained earlier. So this is a 6-hour procedure. So they have to hydrate him first, then they thaw out the cells, and then they inject it into his port, into his line, and they just go straight into his blood system and start working their way. Now there is possibility, because what's happening is it's causing inflammation throughout the body. There could be pain in the parts where his tumors are in his bones. They expand, the T cells expand. So the tumor that is in Elijah's head right now can expand and look bigger. So it may look bigger. Some kids don't, and some kids do. So we have to expect that to happen. If it doesn't, great. But if it does, we have to expect to see some tumors looking a little bit bigger. So if you see it on our vlogs, don't get too worried about it. That means that the T cells are working. If you see it expanding, I would think that means the T cells are working, right? From then on, after the injection, the next week we get labs twice a week to check to see how he's doing. And then 6 weeks from the injection. So we're gonna be out here longer than a month. We're gonna be out here at least till the end of August. 6 weeks from injection, we will do restaging scans to see if it is working. If we do see any signs of decrease or stabilization, we may just continue on doing go on 3 months, maybe another 6 weeks, and then do scans again. So after that, we are done. I don't know if in the future, if it is working and then it starts growing back, if we're gonna do another round of this. I don't know. I really don't know. This is what we're hoping to see, the miracle type of cure as it is in leukemia for neuroblastoma. Like I said, neuroblastoma is extremely hard and very, very difficult to treat. There is really actually no hope in this treatment, but we are gonna be optimistic and have hope that something's gonna happen. Maybe Elijah's gonna be the first neuroblastoma patient to win over with this treatment. We'll see. We are extremely high hopes right now. Otherwise, we really have nothing else that we can do. I mean, we've tried to do everything. My camera's dying, so I'm gonna end it right here. So, okay, so my original camera died. I don't know where I left off, so I'm gonna repeat myself just in case. There are treatments that we are kind of browsing if this doesn't work, maybe out of country, but that is way of a long shot right now. We're hoping that this works. So I really appreciate you guys joining along and sticking through all the way this video to find out what's going on with Elijah. If you haven't yet and you are new to my channel, hello, thank you so much for watching, and make sure you press that red subscribe button down below. We do daily vlogs every day, and we promote hope on this channel and letting everybody know to never give up. We're not giving up. I'll never give up. No matter what the situation and the outcome happens, how it happens, we never give up. And so we want to promote that into the YouTube community and out into the world. So make sure you press the red subscribe button, follow us. We do a lot of fun things as well. We have some fun, we do comedy. That's kind of something that brings us out of our little depressing atmosphere about cancer. So, and my oldest son is autistic, and we are just daily fighters and daily vloggers. So thank you for watching, and hello to all the new subscribers. We will see you guys all next time for the next video. We love you. Ciao. Bye.